Good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. 2 people have died after the third strongest storm in recorded history to hit the US mainland battered northwestern Florida. Hurricane Michael brought storm surges nearly 10 feet high and 155-mile-an-hour winds. It has now weakened to a tropical storm and is heading towards the Carolinas. Our correspondent John Donnison has the latest.
A Category 4 landfall in the month of October.
One of the strongest storms ever to hit America, and the strongest storm to hit this coast since the 1850s.
This started out very innocently a week ago. They grew into a monster.
This hurricane has just defied all
Florida has been battered. Sustained winds of more than 155 miles an hour have left a trail of destruction. Those who chose to stay put, lucky to get out alive.
It just came flying through the roof. I heard all the trees snapping and everything. It sounded like a tornado.
First the attic caved in and everything was just happening so quick when it landed. And then after that, like, my roof came in from the top part to the bottom. So everything is gone, but I'm just glad that we made it out safe because I thought I was gonna get trapped in there and not be able to get out.
Look at the roof of this school, ripped off like a tin of sardines. Camper vans tossed around like toy cars. And imagine the force needed to flip over an entire freight train. Hundreds of thousands of homes are without electricity, with power lines torn down. Many just can't believe their eyes. Whole neighbourhoods are underwater after a storm surge of up to 3 meters.
You live on the coast, this is what you get. So it's just a matter of picking up the pieces and putting it back together, get our lives back together.
But that's going to be a big job.
There it goes. We made it, baby.
It's thought well over 100,000 people ignored evacuation orders and chose to ride the storm out. Having survived, the task will now turn to rebuilding, and the cost to the state could run into billions of dollars.
Following the landfall, I requested that President Donald Trump issue a major disaster declaration to allow federal resources to flow quickly into the impacted communities.
Overnight, the hurricane passed over Georgia, having weakened slightly. And satellite images show the eye of the storm now heading towards South Carolina. It will take days to assess the full extent of the damage, and Hurricane Michael has some way to run. John Donnison, BBC News.
Well, as we say, Hurricane Michael has been downgraded, but storm surge warnings are still in place for exposed coastal areas. CBS correspondent Nicole Killian has the latest from Panama Beach City on Florida's Gulf Coast.
Hurricane Michael is leaving behind a trail of damage and destruction. Just take a look here. We've got this huge tree down. We've got a power pole down. And then over here, we've got some pieces of tin stuck on these wires. And because of all of this damage and devastation, local authorities have imposed a curfew here until the sun comes up. They really want people to stay off the road so that they have time to try to clear up some of this debris. In terms of the power, we understand from utility companies that may not be restored for days, perhaps even weeks at this point. The governor of this state, Rick Scott, has said that his response will be aggressive and that he will do everything possible to try to help these devastated communities. In Panama City Beach, I'm Nicole Killian, CBS News for BBC News.